Hello and welcome to Doodle&Flea Knits podcast. My name is Erin and this is my space where I talk about all the mainly knitting stuff and some other crafty shenanigans that I might be getting into. Hint, there has been nothing this month. And let's see, today is episode number 8. It is July 25th. So we have been doing this for about a year now, or half a year, sorry. And hopefully you guys have enjoyed the ride. So thank you guys for returning and listening to me jabber about yarn and needles. And if this is your first time, welcome. I hope you enjoy yourself and hopefully you come back next time. So let's see. You can find me on Instagram as Doodle&Flea Knits with a period in between those words. And you can find me on Ravelry as The Thready Bear. Both of those will be linked down below. And I think we could pretty much just get started. I mean, it's been kind of a crazy month, but when I was like thinking about it, like the list of the craziness has not been long, but it's just everything that's entailed in it just takes a while. I don't know if that'll make sense, but we'll talk about that later. So let's jump into the knitting stuff. And let's see, I actually don't have any finished objects, which I don't know if that speaks to the craziness of the month, but hey, I'm human, so I can only get done what I can get done. And I've also kind of been sporadic with my knitting. I'm definitely in a very knit fast, dye warm. And because yeah, like, July, here's January, here's December, we're in July, and it's all down here from here. I'm in Ohio, so it can get pretty cold. Yeah, so anyway, no finished objects, just works in progress, so let's get started. And before I dive too deep, I did want to show this half-finished, I don't know what to call it. So I have a finished pair of socks, basically, sans one heel. And I talked about this last episode as a finished object, and yeah, it still doesn't have a heel. Oh well. I'm human, so whatever. So the first thing I'm actually going to talk about is, well, reverse. Okay, so I'm going to talk a lot about socks right now, and all these socks are following the same basic recipe. So I use a 9-inch circular needle, US size 0, because my gauge was looser, so I had to size down. Cast on 64 stitches, 2x2 rib, and that's either 15 to 20 rounds of ribbing, and then 90 to 100 stitches stockinette, and then I do an afterthought heel. So that is my basic recipe for a sock like this. And the afterthought heel goes in with the 60 round foot, give or take. I'm really bad at counting how many rounds. Anywho, so the first one I'm going to talk about is my third sock that I've been working on for Summer Sock Camp. If you are not familiar with Summer Sock Camp, it is just a celebration of socks, basically, all summer long, hosted by the Crazy Sock Lady. I will link down below to like her introductory video. It goes, well, camp itself ends at the end of July, but the knit along goes until August, so there's still time to join. But yeah, so I have 2 sock tubes that are just waiting for heels and toes. So this, I've got even like the first round on this bad boy. So the yarn here is, did I say this was my third entry or my third sock for it? I can't remember. So the yarn is Countryside by Woolberry Fiber Company. It is is one of their collective colorways that I used to be in. And it's just a really nice speckle. So yeah, I'll put the heels in. I'll do either like a rounded or a square toe, whatever I'm thinking about. And then the heel will go in, I think I wound up too much. The contrasting heels and toes will be this color, which is the colorway 20,000, which is also from the Woolberry fiber. And let's see, those are both on their berry sock base, which is a 80% superwash BFL, 20% nylon. So I'll probably get started on the heels and toes, probably this week. I had my plan for what I was going to be knitting for the next week or so, but I think I am going to change it up. So, with the golden color sock and those are my 2 socks in progress, and I have 1 more. So I have 3 pairs of socks that are almost done, but not quite. And so I was planning on trying to finish all those socks up by the end of the month. But I think I'm going to hold off on this next sock that I'm going to show you. I'm not as far along on it. So I think instead of rushing to get it done, I'm just going to make that my on-the-go project that I've been having, and maybe for the next few days, week, get these heels and toes done so that I have 2 finished socks, and then I can keep working on the sock that I'm not as far along on. So my next sock is sock number 4 for Summer Sock Camp / Sock Week 2021 sock that I have lovingly been calling Shark Week Ooh Ha Ha from Finding Nemo Shark Bait Ooh Ha Ha. I don't know, that's just what it always makes me think of. So yeah, Shark Week Ooh Ha Ha. And this is as far as I've actually gotten quite a bit done lately. But yeah, this is the same 20,000 colorway from Woolberry Fiber. And I'm just working on that, and its companion is already done, ends woven in and everything done. Has its markers in every 10 rounds so I can replicate it for its mate. But yeah, so this was my entry for Sock Week 2020, which runs tandem to Shark Week, and it is a little challenge that Nitty Natty of Love and Stitches puts together, and that is to finish one adult sock in 8 days. Now, if you're thinking like, I can do that in my sleep, you know, not everybody can if you're a newbie or whatever. So you can adapt your goal to be whatever. The minimum is 1 adult sock in 8 days. And so I did complete it. I think I did mine in 6 days, maybe? 6 or 7 days. I know I had a little bit of buffer time. So yeah, this follows the same recipe as the other ones. Excuse me. And this contrasting heel and toe is melted popsicles from Woolberry on Berry Sock. But yeah, so that's the only so this is a sock that I was referring to, meaning like I don't have I'm not as far along as it. I mean, I have one sock that is completely done, but this I still have like the mindless stockinette stitching. So I think instead of like rushing to get it done for really no reason, you know, I'd be rushing to get it done to just cast on a new sock. And I mean, this is pretty much a whole sock that I have to do. So I'm not going to rush to finish it. And, you know, I'm just going to knit on it here and there. Probably keep it in my car, take it to work and stuff for lunchtime knitting. But hopefully I could get all those heels and toes in on the other two socks. And then we'll finish this one when we get to it. So those are my 3-ish works in progress. The other works in progress I'm really happy about, and this is my last one. This is the Honey Bop cardigan. Okay, it is a hot mess right now of yarn ends and stuff like that. I've never shown a cardigan, I don't think. So here it is. There's the front and there's the back, so you can kind of see the color progressions. This yarn is from Sorella. It is an Oopsie bundle. And I just faded them together. And so the Honey Bop cardigan is like a 50s, 60s inspired silhouette with puff sleeves and a V-neck. And I have to pick up the neckband, but I mean, I bound off the body. Like, I am so excited. I'm really happy with how it's turning out. Let's see, I don't know if you could tell, I did tubular bind off, which is really good for ribbed bind offs because it kind of carries that like ribbed look over the edge, if that makes sense. It's really neat. It's like a type of Kitchener stitch, but like it's really neat, and it's probably my favorite as a rib bind off. But I did that for the bottom of a nail snag, and then I'll have to pick up the button band, and I'll bind off like that for the button band as well. That'll be quite a bit though. And I'm planning on fading the button band to go with the sweater. Hopefully it'll be okay. But I'm really happy with how this has turned out so far, because I did, based on my gauge, I had to mash 2 sizes together. And I think it was a 2 and a 4. Let me try to get up. And so it actually does, there's my bibs. I think it's gonna fit pretty nice, like especially like up here, like in the bust area. I think it'll fit like perfectly. This looks like the sleeves will fit, and I'm really happy with that, how that turned out. I just think that this won't really be able to close. Yeah. But I'm not too concerned about that. I wear cardigans pretty much open anyway. But yeah, so I'm really happy with how this turned out so far. We just have the sleeves, which I am planning on doing the fade on the sleeves as well. Like I said, those are going to have a little puff sleeve. And I am doing full length. I think that's my plan. And I have plenty of yarn. But yeah, so I'm pretty excited with this. I kind of had a low-key goal of finishing this last week, but obviously that didn't happen. That was like a huge goal, and yeah, it didn't happen. I'm not going to sweat about it. So I just can't wait to wear it. I think it'll look really cute with some jeans. I believe I have a cami that's like this color that I'll wear under it. But yeah, I'm so excited. Ever since I casted this on, it has been one of my, not one of my favorites, because like I base that on like finished designs, but it is I have been so excited for this. And really my only complaint is that it's knit back and forth. And I hate purling. So I need to learn to steek, because I want to make another one of these. And I just can't do back and forth knitting, fingering weight yarn. And so I need to learn to steek, but it will easily be modified for steeking. But yeah, so this is Sorella yarn. I don't have colorways. It is an Oopsie bundle, so I have recently started following Sorella, so I don't even know what colorways they would be coming, or collections they would be coming from. I feel like this is like from their Moana collection or Disney, something like that. I don't know. If you know, let me know down below or send me a message, because I would just be really curious. Honestly, I really don't know why they're considered Oopsie skeins, which, I mean, if I don't know what they're supposed to look like, that doesn't help. But I mean, there's like a little bit of that, that light color and the brown. But I mean, it doesn't bother me, because I baited it with a light color, so we'll pretend it's all part of it. It's a design feature. But yeah, so I don't have a colorway, but the base is, sorry for crinkling, 100% superwash merino. It comes in a skein of 438 yards per 100 grams. And that is their classic sock base, which I have a number of their stuff. Actually, maybe I have their Advent coming, which I'm really pumped about. It's been Advent season, and I can't wait till November. Anywho, so those are what I have been working on. A lot of socks, a lot of sweater knitting, and that's pretty much what's gonna be in my future, is more socks and more sweaters. So let's talk about what is coming down the pike and some more of my knitting plans. So I mentioned that I wanted to get some of my sock needles cleared off for at the end of July, for August 1st, pretty much. And that is because I want to do a pair of color work socks, which I have never done. Don't have really good experience with color work. Well, I've had mixed experience with color work. I did a cowl that was color work, and I love it. It's just really, really heavy, because it's done in a tube, and then it's long enough that you double up, so it's like 15 layers or something. It's something insane. It's really hot. It's really heavy. But it's really comfortable. And it came out really nice. And then I tried to do a sweater, and I don't know how to catch floats, and I'm like, I didn't need to learn. So I had really bad floats on it, and it was way, way too big. I swatched, but it wasn't a very good swatch. So it was really big, and I've kind of given up on it. But I want to try it again, because I really like the results of color work. So I'm trying a pair of Christmas socks, and it is the pattern called Little Tree Farm, and I cannot think of who it's by. I will try to remember to write it down here. And it's just colorwork socks with like little trees all over, and it's just precious. And it is a toe up pattern. I did see that. But here is gonna be my sock, or the tree color. This is Teeny Button Studio in the color Fiddle Leaf. And it's on her soft sock base, which is 75/25 merino nylon. So these are gonna be the trees. And then I am debating on which of these to do as the background. I think this one, this is cotton-headed knitting muggins. Cotton-headed knitting muggins is the name. And I think this one will speckle more. But then this one's Candy Cane Forest. And I think it's oh, that'll look cute. The forest with, Candy Cane Forest with trees, that'd be cute. But I think this is gonna stripe more. So I don't want it to like overshadow. I don't know. Let me know which one. Yeah. Let me know which one. So with the green. I think the green would look better. I don't know. So I have a week to decide on that. But that's what I'm planning on doing next. And I have a family reunion to go to, so, and it's like 3 hours away, so hopefully I get a lot of knitting time in the car. Yay. Don't you love road trips because you can knit in the car? Or if you can't knit in the car, that makes it a lot less fun. But I can knit in the car usually. But we're also going to like a mountainy area, and so that might make me sick. We'll play it by ear. But yeah, so that's what I want to do soon. I also need to finish up the Wrap Me Up sweater, which I casted on February 14th, and I'm still working on it. I really don't like languishing whips. That's part of the reason why I was trying to get all those socks done, is because I feel like they've been on the needles for a while. And the reason I don't like languishing whips is because then I feel like they sit. But also I notice that my gauge changes. And that's why I wanted, like for these guys, I wanted to at least get the tubes done, because that's going to affect size more than like the heels and the toes. And like with this sweater, I don't think it's like size, it's one size, so it doesn't make that big of a difference, but I'll still be able to notice like if a gauge is looser on one end versus the other. So I do want to get that finished. I'm well ahead of the deadline still. And that's, if you're not quite sure what I'm talking about, you'll have to go back a couple of episodes. Let me see. I have all my show notes in front of me, even from past episodes. So, let's see. Episode 4 has it. Yeah. And my note for it was losing momentum. A little bit. Because I haven't touched it at all. It's sitting in a pile. Maybe I have 2 more skeins of yarn to use up for it. So maybe I'll like finish up the one skein, and that'll get me through like the purl knit. Maybe I'll try and at least get through that, and then I can do, then it's like 16 inches of ribbing. So obviously you can tell I'm still really excited for it. And I'm excited for the finished object, but the process is killing me. But yeah, so hopefully I'll get that finished soon. Probably not, because I mean, I'm gonna finish up that honey bob cardigan. I need to finish that one first because I don't want the gauge to change on it. And so maybe before I'm allowed to cast on what I'm gonna talk about next, I'll make myself at least finish one skein that's left in that project. I should probably do that. Okay, so other than that, what I wanted to cast on is a bulky weight sweater. So I need bulky weight after a fingering weight project, that's for sure. And it's going to be in Wonder Fluff from Knit Picks, and this is in their Hair Heather colorway. So it's just like a beige. And this stuff is so soft. It is 70% baby alpaca, 23% nylon, and 7% merino. So I am really pumped for this next project using this guy. And it is Talkin from Skein, which it is just a cropped cardigan, and it has little cables going down the button band. And there's a couple reasons why I want to knit it. Like, one, it's super cute. Two, bulky weight is awesome. And three is it's steeked, so I could just go around and around and around, which I really want to learn to steek. So I have multiple cardigans that are in my queue that I want to make next, and I can't do all that purling. Like, it wears me out. But yeah, so hopefully I'm looking at it longingly, aren't I? Yeah, hopefully I'll get to cast that on soon, because again, I have that knit fast, dye warm mentality, and I'm trying to replace all of my store-bought cardigans, just, slowly. There's obviously no rush. But there's a number of them that'll need replaced, and it's gonna take a while. And I have a couple that I'm already planning on that I have actually, no, those aren't replacements. One might be considered. My stash is over there, and so I'm looking at like my sweater weight quantities that I have. I have sweater weights for 4 sweaters right now, and that's way too many. I don't like having a stash, especially not sweater quantities, so I really need to work on those. But I have quantities for 2 fingering weight. Oh, no. Only 1 fingering weight. That's a DK weight. Bulky. And I think this is a DK weight. So I have 2 DK, or the other one might be weird. DK worsted, 1 fingering, and 1 bulky. So at least I have... And the fingering weight is a short sleeve one, so I'm probably... Oh, there's another one. I'm rambling about my sweater weight quantities. You guys don't care. But yeah, that's pretty much all the knitting content that I have for you. So if you want to peace out now, that's fine. I will probably just waffle on about my month that I've had. It's been crazy, like I said. And the one thing we have been doing is we have been potty training Doodle. So she will be 2 in October. And she's a smart cookie, so I really think she could handle it. And she was doing really, really good for a while. And then daycare. So have you ever heard of a dog being food motivated? And I mean, because it's a pretty common thing. Daycare has described my daughter as food motivated. And I mean, I can't deny it. She is. Anything with food, like, she's all over it. And I just can't. I mean, for potty training and stuff, I'm going to use that to my advantage. And so when she's at home and we're working on potty training, when she uses the big girl potty, she gets an M&M. Well, at daycare, even if she tries but doesn't have to go or whatever, she gets an M&M. For me, she only gets an M&M if she's actually successful. And she was doing really well with that. But now she's not doing as well. But I mean, we started her early. I am aware of that. Like, she's not going to know the feeling of having to go quite yet. And I mean, that's no big deal. So I understand that it is it's a process, and, it's just, we have to be patient. So we've been working on that, every night and a lot on the weekends. And then, so that's been a big thing. Both the girls are sick right now. So yesterday I spent all day getting coughed in my face. Because kids are rude like that. They just like I think they turn into your face and just look at you and just they don't get that there's a pandemic. That we just got out of pandemic. There's a Delta whatever now. But anyway, yeah, so sick girls, potty training. And then the really new and exciting thing is that I got a new job. I previously worked in healthcare doing some like medical billing, data entry, pretty much to boil it down. And I do have my degree in accounting. And so I really wasn't using my degree, and the job itself was not, I call it soul sucking. You end up fighting a lot when it comes to you fight a lot with insurance companies, and because you work for a provider, and you want to get paid. The insurance companies are a business, and they don't want to pay providers because, more in their pocket at the end of the day. And so I believe that they have some sketchy practices, from what I have seen. I will not call anybody out. And so it just gets very old very quickly, constantly trying to fight for your money. And pair that with not using something that I spent 4 years on, it was time for a change of direction. I love the company that I worked at. I would go back in a heartbeat. I just couldn't keep doing the job. So I accepted a position at a nonprofit, and I started last week, and I think this is already such a good move. There's a lot of room for upward mobility, and I'm actually using my degree, which is awesome. And I'm kind of nerding out a little bit on getting to write journal entries and stuff like that. So so that has been a lot of fun, and I just hope it goes well. And yes, that's kind of what's been happening with me. That's fun and exciting stuff. I mean, we've had our day-to-day stuff. I've been watching I Love Lucy, which is just, it's such clean, funny stuff. It doesn't make fun of other people. I mean, a little bit. It's not calling people out, and it's just genuinely funny. It's not crude. It's not disgusting. It's just genuinely funny, and so I've been having a lot of fun watching that. I just finished this week listening to the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying a Vampire, I think is what it's called. which is like, it's a vampire novel, not a love novel or anything like that, but it is really good. And then I just started like the companion to it called My Best Friend's Exorcism. And yeah, I mean, I'm just having a lot of fun with those books. They're fun 90s vampire stuff. Like who doesn't want that? So I would definitely recommend them if you want to check them out. But so let me know what you guys are reading, what you guys have been up to, and I think I will say adieu, and I will see you guys next month. Have a good day and happy knitting.